AskReddit, what is the most disrespectful thing that someone has done in your home? Intruded in a homemade family dinner uninvited and then insulted my cooking. Didn't get a thank you either. We invited a group of people over for lunch. One of them arrived, put a bunch of food on a plate in a plastic container, and left to bring it to eat with her boyfriend. Had a drunk partygoer attempt to do pull-ups from the planks of my old ranch-style ceiling just beneath the heater vent, and ended up pulling down a large portion of my ceiling. Refused to pay for it. A babysitter stole my vibrator and blocked my calls. Like, really? Why would you want someone else's vibrator? My wife's cousin was staying at our house because he is going through marital problems. One night I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard some change rattling. He walks down the hall with my 5-year-old's piggy bank. He was taking money from my fucking daughter's piggy bank to buy beer and smokes. And that's when you understood where the marital problems came from. When I was a kid I invited a friend over and she tried to trap and suffocate my new kittens in a box. What the actual fuck? Little psychopath. My mom made a huge dinner for my aunt and cousins. They showed up 2 hours late, told my mom, "Oh sorry, the boys can't eat that much right now," and just went in our fridge and made them sandwiches instead. I was a kid and my mom had a friend and her son over. They were over for a couple hours, and just as they were leaving I noticed all of my video games were gone. I told my mom. She goes grabs his backpack and of course they were all in his bag. His mother immediately came to his defense, saying he's got a lot of games and must have thought they were his. It didn't even make sense, and she acted as if nothing had happened. Anyway, terrible mother. Kid had no chance. He is now in jail for life, no parole, for shooting and killing a cop during a cocaine bust. Well, that escalated quickly. Dude crapped his pants while sitting on my couch playing a video game and just sat there finishing the match. We were having an old-fashioned LAN party and the entire room cleared out. It's really not a true LAN party until someone shits themselves, to be honest. Friend must have seen me once put in the code for my spare key lockbox and I came home to her in my fucking house. Mind you, we are not close. Her excuse? She had to go to the toilet. Safe to say, I reset that shit and didn't invite her over anymore. Weirded me out. Not house but apartment in college. Roommate invited a bunch of people over one night. We each had our own bathroom, clearly marked. I go to get something from my room and hear obvious ducking in my bathroom. I knock on the door and say, "Wrong one, get the duck out." After they came out I saw that they had cleaned themselves up on my nice white towels. Apparently she was on her period. My husband's friend and her boyfriend arrived from overseas. We hadn't met him previously. On day one the boyfriend googled buy weed, got scammed into sending a lot of cash to Nigeria via Western Union to pay for it, then gave them our address for delivery. No weed ever turned up, but the police did. On day 2 he wanked in the shower and his load got caught by the hair catcher in the drain, which I discovered when I cleaned the shower. Nearly vomited. On day 3 the pair of them had a massive raging argument at our dinner table while the 4 of us were sitting down to eat. They were yelling insults at each other and trying to get us to join in and take a side. It went on like this for about a week until my husband told them to leave. They tried to come back a few days later because they'd discovered that our country is expensive and they'd prefer free accommodation with us. We declined. I'm shocked you allowed them to stay past day 1. A now ex-girlfriend came into my parents' home for only the 2nd time and said to my mother, "Wow, it's tidy in here for a change, haha." I could see in my mother's eyes the thought process of how to slap her to the next century without making a scene. Thankfully she laughed it off, but that was a big red flag for me and my ex. Your mother ducked up. It was a perfect opportunity to discover time travel and she totally skipped it. Sad day for science. Kicked my cat. Smoked my weed without permission, pissed on the toilet seat, then stole some games when they left. All in one 40-minute visit. I posted a shortened version of this story, but here goes. My ex-husband and I had a couple that we were friends with. I grew up in the same neighborhood with the husband and worked at a bar with the wife. They had met and gotten married in Vegas 3 weeks later, so naturally there was a lot of buzz about their relationship and her intentions. The guy was super sweet, and she was, well, skanky. We had them over for dinner and karaoke, and the night was fun. She kept taking selfies on our disposable camera with my husband and wanting to sing duets with him, but whatever. Her husband and I finally tapped out around 2 AM, and they stayed up. I woke up the next morning, and there was tequila rose all over my barroom, clothes everywhere, half-butted cigarettes, lip prints on my big mirror. She had ducked my husband while her husband and I were sleeping. The end. Hey, what is up guys, Daniel here. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. More content is coming. Stay tuned.